Thank you. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshorunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Papasindubhya Evacha Pasitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswati vyasam tato jayam udhiraya nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktiri bhavati naistike Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Hare Krishna, everyone. Are you able to hear me? Hare Krishna. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. So, I just want to give some prelude before going to the 10:35. In the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks very beautifully about, basically he says, right, fix upon the mind upon him, right? And that shloka confirms, and this very famous shloka, we all know that, Manmana bhava madbhakto, majaji mam namaskaro, mame veshyasi yuktavyam, atmanam matparayana. So this is the crux of the whole 9th chapter. Krishna is simply asking, engage your mind always in thinking of me. See, when mind said manaha, mind, engage your mind always thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. So this is, I would say, this is called insurance policy, right? You know, you get all life insurance, you get life insurance in this country. All insurances are there. But one insurance nobody can give, what happens after this body, beyond this body. That's only the Supreme Lord Krishna gives that insurance. So if you want to buy that insurance, if you think it's a very expensive, it's as expensive as it is. If you think it is very cheap, as cheap it is, as it is. So Krishna giving insurance policy from this shloka. Engage your mind always in thinking of me and become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me too and worship me. See, Krishna is very bold enough here to say me only. This is not in any Shastra, any Purana, any religion, this was not mentioned. If you take Christianity, Bible, and Jesus said, my Father is in the heaven. And if you take Quran, Muhammad said, my friend is in the heaven. They are having a relationship with Krishna, Satyabhav and Vatsalya Bhav. They never said, worship me, me. Only Krishna said that, worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, you surely come to me. Look at that, how authenticated this information, how boldly Krishna declares the whole world. Okay, so this is what Krishna is asking us. If you want to go back to Krishna, this is the only way. Engage your mind always thinking. So this is the crux of the 9th chapter. Then coming to the 10th chapter, what he is saying here, in the 10th chapter, Krishna describes opulences on which devotee can fix his mind and remember him wherever he sees anything opulent in the material world, opulent, powerful, or beautiful in this world. So that is how we remember Krishna. And if you go to the 10th chapter, any last few shlokas, Krishna explains everything where he belongs, what he belongs. And anything you see opulent in this world, you should immediately remember Krishna. Anything beautiful we see in this world, remember Krishna. And Krishna explains very clearly. Anything that is, if you take the shlokas from 1 to 7, Krishna giving his opulences and how one takes to bhakti. Then starting shloka 8 to 11, Krishna talks about bhakti yoga explained. We have seen Chatur shloka of Bhagavad Gita. First one is Aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartite. That shloka that gives one who knows Krishna's position as the supreme source of everything becomes he is a pure devotee. His pure devotion. Then second one explains Krishna becomes his life and soul, and he speaks and he hears about Krishna's worship. Renee, I'm in the class, I'll call you back, okay? Okay. So he talks about Machita Matkata Prahanayanta, Machita Matkata Bodhayanta Parasparam. That's the one thing how he explains the yoga, Bhakti Yoga explained. Another shloka explains attraction, Krishna's mercy, and he gives them intelligence. What is that? Dadami is buddhi yogantam yenama upayantite. That shloka. And our fourth shloka says that, Krishna destroys their ignorance with the shining lamp of knowledge. Jnana Deepa Bhasra, something like that. Okay? So he talks about these opulences from 8 to 11 shlokas. These are Chatur shloka of Bhagavad Gita, very famous. That 4 shlokas will give the crux of whole Bhagavad Gita. And he talks about his opulences. Then 12 to 18, what happens? Arjuna accepts Krishna as Bhagavan and requests to hear about his opulences. In that case, Arjuna accepts Krishna as the Supreme Brahman. Param Brahma, Param Lama, Pavitrama Dattamam. He says, okay, now I can see you, Krishna, you're Supreme Lord. Please, I don't want to see you this universal form. Please show me your Shamsundara form. Second one, great sages also confirm this. We have Asita, all the rishis confirm that Krishna is supreme. All his statements are true. Okay, neither demons nor devatas can perfectly know him. Only devotees. Krishna alone can be fully known himself, and therefore request him to tell him in detail about his divine opulences. Arjuna is requesting because even the demigods, etc., have no access to pure bhakti of Krishna. Whereas the true devotees, they can realize Krishna with full opulences. That's what I'm explaining here. Then, coming to 19 to 42nd shlokas in this chapter explains very clearly Krishna's divine opulences. Divine opulences, we can say, in the 935th shloka, we'll read and we'll discuss some of these divine opulences. If I go to 933, 34, etc., I'm all devouring death, and I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be. I'm among women, I'm a fame. So everything, this is confirmed that Krishna, we think, the material nature is different from Krishna, spiritual nature, etc., etc. But these are different energies of Krishna. Krishna has 3 energies: external energy, internal energy, and marginal energy. And the Mayavadis think that, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. No, it is not correct. In case of devotees, everything is a devotion. Even material nature also belongs to the external energy of Krishna. And when you become a devotee doesn't distinguish between this external energy or internal energy of Krishna. For devotees, all equal. Even in the material nature also, we can enjoy Krishna's opulences. And as I said, anything you see beautifully, appreciate how we can see Krishna in that. And anything great you see, that is Krishna in Siddham. And one example reminds me, when Prabhupada used to travel long distances in the airplane, Prabhupada used to Charlie Chaplin movies also in the airplanes. And somebody asked, Prabhupada, how you are a devotee, of course, how you're enjoying Charlie Chaplin, you're not supposed to watch. Prabhupada said, I'm seeing Krishna in everything. Even in Charlie Chaplin, I'm seeing Krishna, how wonderful Krishna makes him to act. So that is a conscious level, is elevated Whereas for devotees, there is no difference between material and spiritual nature. And a pure devotee never aspires that I wanted to go back to spiritual world, serve Krishna. Even in this material world also, I can serve Krishna. Right? So here, let us take this shloka and discuss more about the opulences of Krishna. Bruhat sama tata samnam Gayatri Chandra Samaham Masana Margashiroham Rutunam Kusumakaraha. The translation by Prabhupada ki jai. Of the hymns in the Sama Veda, I am the Brihat Sama. And of poetry, I am the Gayatri. Of months, I am Margashira, November, December. And of seasons, I am flower-bearing spring. So these are all beautiful items in the nature. For example, Sama, out of all the Sama Veda highest. In that, again, Brihat Sama is the highest philosophically when demigods chant these shlokas to Krishna. And of the poetry, I'm the Gayatri. You know that Gayatri Mantras, we get 22nd initiated, we get Gayatri Mantras and how beautiful they are, how they bring closer to the Supreme Lord. Of the month Margashira, Margashira is November, after Kartik month, Margashira. Kartik is Srimati Radharani's month, Kartik month. And of Kartik month, Margashira comes, this is Krishna's month, November and December. And of seasons, I am flower-bearing spring. In the spring, you see how flowers blossom so nicely, everything looks greenery. That is Krishna. So everything that is beautiful and enjoyable, powerful, opulent in this world, that is, we can see Krishna in them. Why? Because Krishna exists everywhere in those things. So let us read the purport and understand more on these aspects. Do we have any volunteer to read purport on the call? Anyone joining on the call? Can you please read the purport, please? Anyone is fine, doesn't matter. And so today, as Sumitra explained, Ekadasi. And Ekadasi is called Madhavatisi. Madhavatisi Bhakti Janani. If you read today, you will get 100 times bonus points. So that's why I'm giving a chance for you. You don't have to pay any fees here. Just your walk, your words are good enough to read proper the purports, and that gives 100 times devotion. Because it is called, there are two Sukritis, Jnata Sukriti, Ajnata Sukriti. Right? Jnata Sukriti means known pious credits you get. On Ekadasi day, we are not supposed to eat so things, etc., etc. Those called Jnana Sukriti. So by reading this one also, you get Jnata Sukriti, which elevates your consciousness, brings closer to Krishna. If anybody is on the call, would be willing to take that sale, please read purport. You should be rushing for competition for this type of things, devotees on the call. Now we will be working morning to evening on the software, closing our mouths. At least open your mouths now. Hare Krishna. Nobody wants to take it? Are you able to see my screen first of all? Okay, looks like everybody is sleeping on the call. Nobody is responding.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. This is Kunal.
Yes. Go ahead, Kunal. Take it.
Yeah, purport. It has already been explained by the Lord that amongst all the Vedas, he is the Sama Veda. The Sama Veda is rich with beautiful songs played by the various demigods. One of these songs is Brihat Sama, which has an exquisite melody and sung at midnight. In Sanskrit, there are definite rules that regulate poetry. Rhythm and meter are not written whimsically, as in much modern poetry. Amongst the regulated poetry, the Gayatri Mantra, which is chanted by the duly qualified Brahmanas, is the most prominent. The Gayatri Mantra is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam because the Gayatri Mantra is especially meant for God realization. It represents the Supreme Lord. The mantra is meant for spiritually advanced people, and when one attains success in chanting it, he can enter into the transcendental position of the Lord. One must first acquire the qualities of the perfectly situated person, the qualities of goodness according to the laws of material nature, in order to chant the Gayatri Mantra. The Gayatri Mantra is very important in Vedic civilization and is considered to be the sound incarnation of Brahman. Brahma is its initiator, and it is passed down from him in disciplic succession.
Yeah, we'll got to stop here. So they're talking about, they're explaining beautifully about the Samaveda, then the Samaveda, the one goes on this Buha Sama, which has Exodus melody and in the sunlight. In Sanskrit, there are definite rules that regulate poetry, rhyme, and meter are not written whimsically. It's not just written by the whimsical limits like, for enjoyment, etc. As in much modern poetry. In modern poetry, we look for melody, this, that, but it's not like that in the Vedas. Even regulatory poetry, Gayatri Mantra, which is chanted by the duly qualified Brahmanas. So here, Prabhupada is beautifully explaining about the importance of chanting Gayatri. In the whole India, say Gayatri, 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 they do, but Gayatri Mantra also has certain rules and regulations to be followed, because otherwise it becomes offensive. So that's why in our ISKCON, we have the second initiation process called, 6 Gayatris we get from our spiritual masters, different Gayatris. So this Gayatris has chanted. Again, whether I don't want to accept I'm a qualified Brahmana, but it's the mercy of the Guru and Prabhupada. They're all getting Gayatri mantras in ISKCON, and they are very important. And these Gayatri mantras will actually bring closer to the Supreme Lord. And when we take up the second initiation Gayatri mantras, we closely worship deity worship. Deity worship means Archa Vigraha form of Lord Sri Krishna, Mahaprabhu, Jagannath, Subhadra. Archa Vigraha we can before even touching Archa Vigrahas, we do these Gayatri mantras because they have certain potency that they bring closer to the Supreme God and God realization. It represents Supreme Lord. The Gayatri represents Supreme Lord. This mantra is meant for spiritually advanced people. Okay. And when one attains success in chanting, he can enter into the transcendental position of the Lord. One must first acquire the qualities of perfectly situated person. And the qualities of goodness according to laws of middle nature in order to chant Gayatri. I don't know whether I am really qualified or not. Only our spiritual master evaluates our situation. But at least by the mercy of spiritual master and the mercy of Prabhupada, we are getting these mantras. Whether I am qualified or not, I don't know. At least their mercy, we are able to get those mantras, and we chant those mantras, and we do deity worship. And this deity worship become closer. And also, when you do deity worship, when you touch the Vigraha form of Lord Sri Krishna, Radharani, and other deities, our consciousness elevates basically. When you touch certain metal or made of panchalohas, then when you touch the deity worship, that elevates our consciousness, and then you form the sambandha jnana. Like, hey, as you start worshipping at home or in the temple, you develop a relationship between the deities and your individual. Then with that relationship, we can go back to God. Some people can develop Vasalya Bhav, Sakya Bhav, Madhurya Bhav, etc. Whatever relationship you develop with that. So that we need this kind of mantras to come closer to the God. But if you go to India, people have forgotten the original meaning of Gayatri. They say, if you do Gayatri, you get this benefit, that benefit, blah, 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 those things. But that's not the purpose. The purpose of Gayatri mantras is to come closer to the God realization. That is the purpose. That's what Prabhupada is explaining beautifully here. Okay. Okay. Any second volunteer for reading the next paragraph? Nobody wants to take the sale.
If nobody, I can do it, Prabhuji. That's fine.
Yeah, go ahead. You get all the mess.
Yeah. The month of November, December is considered the best of all months because in India, grains are collected from the fields at this time and the people become very happy. Of course, spring is a season universally liked because it is neither too hot nor too cold, and the flowers and the trees blossom and flourish. In spring, there are also many ceremonies commemorating Krishna's pastimes. Therefore, this is considered to be the most joyful of all seasons, and it is the representative of the Supreme Lord Krishna.
Lord. Yes. So spring, November, December, the Margashira, considered the best of all months. High grains comes and people are in the jovial, happy mood. And that's what on January we also celebrate Pongal. All the new grains comes to the home, and everybody is happy. Okay. And I said wherever powerful, opulent, beautiful happiness is there, that is Krishna. So that's one situation. Of course, spring. We all know that. We all wait for the spring break. Kids' college spring break is coming out, vacation. Spring, all the flowers are blossoming beautifully. Okay, anything beautiful, immediately remember Krishna. That is what we enjoy, the material nature with the consciousness that belongs to Krishna. It's not that we are rejecting, these were explained beautifully by Kapila Muni in the 26th chapter of third canto. If I go here, Mother Devahuti is asking how the fundamental principles of material nature, if you look at here. And Kapila Muni is so beautifully explaining here how a devotee of the Lord can perceive the Supreme Lord in the material nature. Material nature not different from Krishna. Okay, but only thing is when Krishna, material nature, that is for the less intelligent people, how they can assume Krishna from the material nature. For example, if you read all this chapter, all the trees are compared to the nerves. All the trees are the hair of the chest of the Supreme Lord. Okay, all the rivers are compared as the veins compared to the rivers flowing in the water, etc. All this material nature can be perceived through the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, here if you look at some of the shlokas, Mother Devahuti is asking his son, what makes us to be delivered from this world? So in the first chapter, before this chapter, he gives the glories of the devotional service, and he purely gives the devotional service, how it has to be done. Then in this chapter, he's asking, Mother Devahuti is asking, okay, I am in the existing material world, how I can perceive Krishna to the material nature. He beautifully explains every part, and every part of our body also owned by some demigods. If you take all our body parts, each party has the owner of the demigod. And if that demigod takes owner of our whole body, that whole represents Krishna. Okay, so this whole material nature is Mahatattva, 24 elements. Then we have mind, intelligence, thoughts, ego, etc. Those 8 elements, etc., etc. All this. If you look at here, the material ego springs up from the Mahatattva, which evolved from the Lord's own energy. The material ego is endowed predominantly with the active power of 3 kinds: good, passion, and ignorant. It is from these 3 types of material ego the mind, the sense perception, the organs of action, and the gross elements evolve. So our body, we have a subtle body and gross body. And subtle, again, gross body is made of these panchabhutas, air, water, ether, fire, etc. That's also part of material nature. But the pure devotee can also perceive Krishna in the material nature. But that's why a pure devotee never asks, I want to go back to Godhead and serve him Goloka Vrindavan. You put me wherever you put me. Narayana Parasarve Nakutasala Viddati Svargeshu Narakeshu Apavargeshu Tulyadadarshana. You put me in the hell also find Krishna, because I can see you also in the hell. It's all matter of conscious level. When the consciousness is elevated, doesn't matter you put me in the hell or you put me in the heaven, I am always constantly serving you life after life. That is the mode. That's what material nature. Otherwise, Maya, what you say, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. Jagat is not Mithya. Jagat is the action energy of Lord Sri Krishna. How it becomes Mithya? No, you can serve the Supreme Lord even in the material nature. How you serve the material nature, as I said, everything you see beautiful, appreciate Krishna. As Prabhupada, seeing Charlie Chaplin movies, appreciating how Krishna is great. So that is a consciousness we have to develop in such a way that wherever you go, see Krishna. Whatever beautiful see, first you say, wow, how beautiful Krishna is created. That's what we devotees always think about it. Anything beautiful, wow, how beautiful Krishna created this nature. When you go, a lot of devotees would go for the fall colors. They go to somewhere, northeast. Fall colors. When you see those beautiful fall colors, when our consciousness is properly elevated, we think about Krishna immediately. Wow, how nice Krishna created this material nature. So every part, when we read the shloka, Sarva Karana Karanam, everything in this material world happening by the will of the Supreme Lord. A small ant cannot move without his permission. A small ant cannot move without permission. That's what Brahma realized all these facts. He realized the whole thing. He played games with Lord Sri Krishna, and finally he came to the conclusion, I am not going to be greater than him. He thought, I am the greatest. Brahma thought I am the greatest. And he played games with Krishna, hiding cows, etc., etc. But at the end, he gave up because everything was happening by the will of the Lord. Krishna said, no problem. You are hiding my cows. I can create millions of cows. You are hiding my gopas, I can create millions of gopas and gopis. Then Brahma came back and started writing Brahma Samhita so beautifully. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. Sarva Karana Karanam. Everything happening by the will of the Supreme Lord Krishna, I am giving up. That's why Brahma also writes, Andantarastu Paramanu Chayantarastam. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. He writes so beautifully. Andantarastu Paramanu Chayantarastu. Every atom, moving and non-moving, this material creation, we have Krishna's energy. Krishna expanded in the 400 Narayana form in each and every living entity. He came as a Sivadaka Sai Vishnu in our heart, sitting, Paramatma. And moving and non-moving. We have 8.4 million species of life. Every living entity, Krishna is expanded as a Paramatma. Jalajanava Lakshani, Stavaraha Lakshvimshati, Pakshinam Dasalakshanam. Take all these, it becomes 8.4 million species. All million species Krishna expanded out of causeless mercy as a Paramatma. There is no space you think Krishna is not there. Everywhere he is there. Only your perception has to be changed. When you go to the bathrooms, restrooms, we think I am the only guy, now nobody can watching me, I can do whatever I want to do it. No, Paramatma is present. He is a Sakshi, witnessing everything what you are doing. Prabhupada, there are two birds. One is doing karma, the other bird is simply watching. Paramatma is watching. So that's why this is how Krishna's energies, Krishna's opulences can be perceived to the material nature as well. Material nature is not different from Krishna. It's only external energy, different energy of Krishna. That doesn't mean that Krishna doesn't exist there. And that's confirmed by Brahma very beautifully without any second thought. Right? So, and also if you go to seventh chapter, Krishna says, such a beautiful shlokas, when I read the shlokas, my hair stands on my head. Matta Bharatam Nanyat Kinchid Asti Dhananjaya Mayi Sarvam Idam Proktam Sutre Maniganeva. If I read this one, O conqueror of wealth, telling Arjuna, there is no true superior to me. Look at that. There is no true superior to me. Everything rests upon me. As pearls are strung on a thread. How pearls are strung on a thread. Everything is resting upon the thread called Krishna's thread. And when something comes out of that thread, it has no relationship to Krishna. So these are the chapters, gives an in-depth knowledge about the Supreme Lord, how he operates the material world, how his energies are working, etc., etc. And also in this chapter, he explains very beautifully, look at that. O son of Kunti, look at that. I am the taste of the water. Look at that. I am the taste of the water. And the light, if you look at it, I am the taste of the water, the light of the sun and the moon. The moon and light, they are dependent on Krishna. We think they're independent. No. Sun is considered as the eye of Krishna, lotus eye of Krishna. Huh? And the moon, the syllable Om, the syllable Om in the Veda mantras is Krishna. I am the sound in either, I am the sound in ether and ability in man. A person who is the greatest championship, we think he did on his own. No, that is Krishna's energy. So that is what devotees perceive Krishna in every aspect of material nature, whether it is opulent, powerful, beautiful, or attractive. That is Krishna. That's a perception we have to change. Otherwise, this material nature, this no. Every part, even a stone has a consciousness. That's the lowest consciousness. But everywhere, Krishna is present as a Paramatma and Paramatma. Yeah, this is like Sai Vishnu extended. And these three Vishnus, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, they came as expansion to the material maintenance. Tirupani Vishnani, Tirupa Vishnani, Vishnus. And that day, Nandana was giving class how bubbles come out of the inhale exhale of Mahavishnu. Each universe bubble varies size based upon whatever sizes. Each one has Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. 14 planetary systems are coming, and from 14 planetary systems we have the topmost Tapoloka, Brahma Loka. Brahma is the second creator. So all this knowledge, even the material nature, how these three Vishnus are performing their duties. It's expansion of Krishna. So everything boils down to Krishna. That's why Brahma put only one shloka, Sarva Karana Karana. Whatever happening in this material nature, happening with the will of the Supreme Lord. I recently visited Jaipur, Radha Govindji and Radha Gopinath. Then I went to Vrindavan. I visited Banki Bihariji temple. And the Pujari came for the program, his wife. Then we went to Radha Damodar temple. And I was, went to Prabhupada room in Radha Damodar temple. Through the darshan of Rupa Goswami Samadhi, his Bhajana Kutir in the Radha Damodar temple. When you know the history and when you really visit their samadhis, it's like a so ecstatic moments. Tears come from Rupa Goswami Samadhi. How great Acharya he is. And Prabhupada sitting and looking through his windows and praying to Rupa Goswami, when I'm going to go to America, preach, fulfill my spiritual master desire of preaching Krishna consciousness in Western countries. And then we went to Radha Madan Mohan temple, Sanatana Goswami Samadhi, so beautiful, samadhis. Okay, and if you go to Radha Damodar temple, we have Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Samadhi, Jiva Goswami. If you go to Radha Kund, we have Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So all these, when you hear this and go there, what a joyful occasion for us, for the devotees. So it's not that Krishna only present in the spiritual world. Krishna is present everywhere as long as our consciousness is properly situated. So that's why we develop our consciousness by associating with the devotees, chanting the glories of Krishna. Every second, dear devotees, the moment you open your eyes on the bed, take the name of Krishna. Nirantara Krishna Nama. Nirantara Krishna. There is no antar. Nirantara Krishna Nama. The moment you open your eyes on the bed, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Thankful Krishna, you gave me one more day of life for me to live here. Before going to bed, Hare Krishna again. I don't know whether I'm going to get up or not next morning. Yesterday, Saturday morning, I got a message from India. My younger sister husband, he passed away. He was healthy. He went to the restroom and he came back and he passed away. 2 days back. My own sister, I have two sisters, my younger sister, and he is about 70 to 73 years. And he left the body 2 days back. So then when our own family members had realization, hey, what kind of life we are living? We don't know at what moment this life is going to go away. That's why Bhagavatam very beautifully explains that Durlabho Manusho Deho Dehi Nam Kshanabhanguram Tatrapi Durlabham Manye Vaikunta Priya Darshanam. Durlabho de manusho deho. It is very rare to get this human form of life, dear devotees. You might have done a lot of yagas to get the human form of body. But once you come to this human form of body, what? Durlabho manusho deho, very rare to get. Dehi nam kshanabhangaram. And we are not guaranteed. Anytime this body can go anywhere, it will be gone. Tatrapi durlabham manye. Rarer than that, Vaikuntha Priyadarshanam. Associating the pure devotees of the Lord is a very, very recommended process in Kali Yuga. And when Maharaj came 2 days back, our Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, how beautiful that is, how enchanting whole environment was when the pure devotees comes and the environment becomes so ecstatic and everybody gets enlightened. So those are the moments we have to take and implement our process. Krishna doesn't need our money. Krishna doesn't need our intelligence. Krishna doesn't need your bank balance because he has all 6 opulences 100% full. Only he needs 2 things from us: our humility and humbleness. Those 2 attracts Krishna, nothing else in this creation. He's a sarvakarana karana. Only because he has given a free will of 1 or 2%, that free will we can use it for humility and humble and serving Krishna. That is what our great success depends on that. It's not that, I am a CEO, DEO, doesn't matter. End of the day, everybody has to die. But engaging our sense, engaging our consciousness, engaging our senses, even you're working, that work also becomes worship. A lot of people, I am in this material world, how I can connect to Krishna? Okay, Prabhupada writes detachment. Detachment means what? Not rejecting items. Detachment means how to connect to Krishna is a detachment we need to learn. Today morning also we are reading the last sloka of the 3rd canto, 24th, 26th chapter. Detachment means what? No, I don't want this one. I don't want that one. I don't want this one. No. Naiti. No, it's not that. I want everything, but I want to give it to Krishna. That is a detachment we need to develop. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandha Yukta Vairagya Muchyate. You develop that kind of consciousness. Everything connect to Krishna. And you can see everywhere Krishna. In everything we can see Krishna when you develop that conscious level. So we have to work in such a way that you increase our consciousness, elevate our consciousness by associating the pure devotees of the Lord, etc. Okay, so what I would do, I will stop here, and I would like to, I didn't prepare much. I just came from India, busy. But when Mr. Prabhu asked me, I thought, I never, sometimes I say, but serving Krishna just come through devotees. Forgive me if I have misspoken anything because of my inability to understand the Shastra properly. I will open session for the feedback and questions. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Am I still audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. And devotees, anybody would like to? I'm sure you're all more knowledgeable than me, so I would really love to hear from all of you. It's a interactive session, please. Prabhupada said one time, every person has to speak about Krishna every day 2 to 3 minutes. Because in my Bhagavatam class morning, I don't read. I only facilitator. I ask someone to read sloka. So make sure everybody on the call reads and explains about Krishna. Then your consciousness gets purified automatically without you knowing that you're purified. That's a way to go in devotional practice. It's not that simply hearing somebody is talking. We can talk. See, there's nothing to talk in Krishna consciousness. One class is enough to know what Krishna conscious definition is. Later that, how we associate, how we develop our eager to talk about Krishna, glorify Krishna. That way you can elevate our consciousness. So that's why everybody has to pitch in and give 1 or 2 lines what they got from this class or what they wanted to contribute more than. I might have missed some points. You should all contribute to this class.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Who is this?
This is Ajay Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, speed, volume is low.
Can you hear me now, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Like I have difficulty. Like when I am doing work, like I know I should work for Krishna, but I am forgetting Krishna at that time. When the work is done, I'll be remembering Krishna by chanting or listening to like Bhagavad Gita or anything else. But how to connect to Krishna while working properly?
That is Ajay Prabhu, that is fine. If you are working perfectly for your boss and you are getting promotion, means you are serving Krishna. Because end of the day, whatever Lakshmi you bring, you are serving Krishna. End result is Krishna. When you are working, work full-heartedly. Don't work half-heartedly. Oh, I have to chant, I have to do this. What we are working, work perfectly. That is also devotional service, because when you work perfectly, you may take a promotion, you get appreciation, or your job may last for longer. Then you become happy, you get the Lakshmi, serve Krishna. Nothing wrong in that. When you are prescribed rounds in the evening, do sincerely when you are doing those things. When you come evening, do some kirtan with family, offering prasadam, meat bhoga, those things to it. When you are working, don't worry about that, whether you are remembering Krishna or not. When you are doing your service perfectly, and that is giving Lakshmi, you're serving Narayana end of the day. That matters. End result is the one.
Yeah,
don't worry about
thank
it. Yeah, don't be in that mode. Okay, don't worry about it too much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Govardhan Bhakta Prabhu, for having a wonderful class. Nice points, nicely explained. Importance. So, dear devotees, anything you would like to add? Any realizations? Everybody is tired of taking fasting, I believe.
Oh, I'm feasting, Prabhu. I'm eating
You're
Ekadashi
feasting?
Prasadam.
Okay.
I'm eating Ekadashi Prasadam. I'm a diabetic patient. I cannot fast, so I'm eating Ekadashi Prasadam nicely. Yeah, I used to do, but I'm not anymore. Yeah.
Anybody else has anything to add? Any comments?
Amradhana Prabhu is on the mute.
Yeah. Murdanda Prabhu.
Yeah.
Anybody else can open up and have some discussions. It's good. Ekadashi.
Today is Ekadashi, and you get, if you talk 1 point, you get 100 points.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Humble obeisance to you and all devotees. Prabhu, can you? This is the Bhagavad Gita class, but I'm talking about this Pamachana Ekadashi. Can you describe about the Pamachana Ekadashi? What for that, please?
Actually, I did not read much about. Probably Simeshwar Prabhu has information. He can comment on that.
Okay, Prabhu.
Simeshwar Prabhu, want to say something about Ekadashi? This Ekadashi.
Yeah, basically this is recommended. I think there are, at least we can see that there are 24 Ekadashis, right? And this is recommended one of the significant. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, Ekadashi, because of one who observed this Ekadashi, and they can they can relieve from the sinful reactions. And it is also mentioned that it is observed on the Krishna Paksha, and is also this is very significant because of it has lots of what is called connection with the Lord Hari especially. And this was started in order to relieve. I forgot the name of those. Their forefathers were completely stuck in hellish conditions, and there were no way that they can come out of it. And then I think it's Narada Muni. Narada Muni advised that this was actually explaining Lord Krishna to Yudhishthira Maharaj that observe this fast, that specifically, and without any offenses while doing the observing the Ekadashi, and chant the holy name, completely dedicate, and that those rules and regulations, and give the charity once you during this Ekadashi, and observe it, and then also very focus and concentrate more on Krishna. Then this way you can relieve the sins your forefathers, forgot the name of those forefathers, that they can relieve their sinful reactions, and they can liberate. So that's where it's called Papa Mochini. That means one can, whoever is observes, they can relieve their sinful reactions, and also they can relieve their forefathers and whoever is actually related to, and they all can come out of their sinful conditions and sinful reactions, and they can all liberate. That's the significance of this. Yeah.
Yes. So second question is that some devotees doing the whole day fasting,
Yeah.
and some devotees do half day fasting. So what is your opinion, Prabhu, about that? Please.
Which is the fasting mainly is meant for, especially this fasting is meant for that we reduce the needs of our body, material, bodies. Like, usually when you are full, your mind is not focused. You need to get rest, you need to get sleep, and all those things. Basically, if you are able to concentrate, if you are able to more focus on Krishna, that's what it is called upavas. Fasting means upavas. Upa means near. Vas means to stay. Upavas means to stay nearby. Doesn't matter whether you eat or not, but you have to. You cannot eat any grains or beans or something, because of that's restricted. But on a regulated basis, like maybe fruits, whatever you can manage, and then you have to take it. And then most importantly, that how much conscious you are more with Krishna, how much focused you are with Krishna and chanting the holy name, that realizations and understanding, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and sin, you are more connected, right? Otherwise, what happens? We are away from Krishna. So these are our opportunities. These are our, the best, fortunate moments that we can be more associated with the Krishna. More associated with the Krishna means, we can relieve from all our sinful reactions and all our, the misfortunes in our life that, so once we are more connected to Krishna, that means we are, we are putting more steps towards Krishna. So that is eternal. That will be always there. So that's our great fortune. So the eating, some may be eating, yes. That's what is good for them. Usually recommended not too much eating on this day, but maybe one time or two time or whatever, very minimum, so that you can focus more on Krishna. Some may be doing, yes, some may be doing the nirjala. Yes, definitely, if those who are taking that kind of step and severe penance. Of course, sacrifice is very much valued in terms of Krishna. If one who takes the nirjala and worship the Lord in the same time and more, and then definitely that is beneficial, definitely. But nirjala and taking nirjala and our consciousness is somewhat different or somewhere else, then there is no use for it. All these are doing in order to cultivate or in order to develop that more conscious of Krishna. So whatever is required for that, yadarham upayinchade, that's what is the Rupa Goswami says, that whatever is utilized, yadarham upayinchade, utilize that for the service of Krishna. Sometimes, when devotees went out for this, the book distribution, on Ekadashi day, and Srila Prabhupada says that, you just go and eat and go so that you can distribute more. Otherwise, you will be tiring and you will not be, more focused. That's our human nature. So whatever is good, actually, that to develop
Right.
Krishna consciousness, that we should follow. It's not that, we are what is called a niyama graha. That means we are not bound by these rules and regulations much. But whatever is good for to develop Krishna or conscious of Krishna, that's what is we need to do.
Yeah, I just want to add one more point, Ashish Prabhu. This is a practice to regulate our senses, basically. Sense regulation slowly comes, okay? But what happens is if you are fasting and always thinking about food, you're not able to chant properly, I would rather have Ekadasi Prasadam nicely fill your stomach and chant properly. It's not that, we're forcing someone. Otherwise, if you are hungry, you're not able to chant properly, you're not able to hear katha, is of no use. The use is to elevate your consciousness by sense regulation. If you are not able to do it, eat Ekadasi Prasadam. One time, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj gave example that some brahmacharis, they were supposed to go for preaching or book distribution, but they did not go. And Maharaj, Siddhanta Saraswati asked why. Oh, we are fasting today, we did not go. He said, okay, he made khichdi separately for them. That day, even though they are not supposed to eat grain, he made khichdi, eat khichdi, go and preach. So the end result should be Krishna consciousness without any hampering. Otherwise, if you are fasting, oh my gosh, when I'm going to eat, when is going to be next morning, okay, I'm thirsty, this one, that one. No, eat nicely. And if you want, you can chant more rounds today. That is recommended process. It's not that compulsory you have to fast or anything. No. That's why they said Ekadasi Prasad. Because sin personification is exist in the grains on this day. That's the reason why you are not supposed to eat beans and grains. Sin personification as a boon from the Supreme Lord on Ekadasi day, sin exists in the beans and grains.
Yes, Prabhu.
Got it?
Yes, Prabhu, got it. Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice explanation. Thank you. Hari Bol, Prabhu.
Yeah. Anything else? Anybody else want to add?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dhanyak Prabhu, all those Prabhupada, Bhuti. Yeah, can I add here, Prabhu, something related to that?
Yes, please go ahead.
Like just to adding to that, even like you and Govardhan Prabhuji give the Krishna consciousness to prospective benefits. Even that, like for if somebody can manage the Nirjala, that's up to that his health support and medical issues. But if he could manage without any issues, even that biological also, like I'm hearing one of the Prabhu class, he mentioned that even the body tissues, like which is unwanted, if you could manage that, those also die and then regenerated. So the biological also, there is so much the benefits if you can manage that. Depends on health.
Correct.
Even Prabhupada mentioned that one time, if you Krishna consciousness perspective, if you cannot do that properly, then better eat it and then do chanting. But if you can manage that, is it really good? All depends on individual health, situation, circumstances. Did not like in general, oh, everybody should do the nirjala.
Right.
If you can manage, really good. If not, then eat Ekadasi Prasadam.
Actually, yeah, good point. It's because in 24 hours, our liver gets what you call tuning of our body. We do DB tuning, etc., database tuning, etc., to become efficient. It's a good point you brought up. So it's a tuning of our body. But if you're a patient, I'm diabetic, I cannot stay more than 5-6 hours. So there's no point in trying something like that. Correct. Good point.
Prabhu, another point on Ekadashi fasting. My Guru Maharaj has said, sometimes what happens is that we perform severe austerity. But that also, Maya is so clever that we can use that also to inflate our false ego.
Correct, Prabhu. Like that. Oh, I am fasting. I am fasting. Oh, who? You can, yeah, I can understand. Very good point, Prabhu. Thank you.
It is
Absolutely.
feeding your belly, then
Absolutely.
feeding your.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for your points, Prabhu. Thank you.
Sorry, Prabhu, I was doing DT service and listening to your lecture, so I couldn't talk in between.
Thank you.
Also, there is, I was reading an article, I don't know how much it would be, it's a scientific reason actually. Ekadashi and Dwadashi and Trayadashi and then, Chaturdashi. It's connected to the Purnima or the moon because of, I think the studies or something mentioned that if you are consuming more water on this day, then that will, of course, it takes times and it will go into the body and then what happens, it will connect to the moon because of moon is so powerful or not powerful on this on this Purnima or Amavasya that it can affect your mind in such a way that if you're more eating or more drinking on this day, it will be affect your mind and mental stability and all those things. So that's why our Shastra Acharyas in earlier days also says that reduce eating and reduce drinking, and so that it would be healthy, in conscious wise. Yeah, I mean something, some scientific
reasons. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, dear devotees? Okay, so if there is nothing else, then let's conclude. Is that okay?
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Sorry, no, is in the topic of Ekadashi, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Very nice discussion. I'm trying to find what is the significance of Dwadashi? Like, why do we have a particular time for fast breaking? What is the importance of breaking the fast at a certain time?
Sin personification will be gone from the grades. I'm just giving logical answer. Maybe sin personification escapes from the grades at that point. I don't know, Prabhu. I'm just giving a.
Yes, it's partially true because of Tithi is the important. I mean, the Tithi is actually considered with the timing of.
Right.
Right. Tithi, this Tithi, Ekadashi is up to this point, up to this time. Then after the Dwadashi starts, so then the Dwadashi is not good for fasting at all. So that means usually pujas or all doesn't do on Dwadashi. That's why even the Lord's appearance they come on Dwadashi, Varaha Dwadashi, then we would observe that on Ekadashi, along with the Ekadashi, the Varaha Dwadashi. So Dwadashi is not good for fasting because of, again, scientific reasons. It's not good. It's an offensive. So that's why we should break that time. And after the time period of that one, then Dwadashi starts. Before that, it's a good time to break so that we were within that time frame. And then, then it's good for, of course, Dwadashi is not good for fasting or anything. So there is a time frame, what is called a window or a gap, right? Something like that.
Parna time.
Parna time. That's an overlapping time that, so that it's good, safe, that we can take it and then continue. It's also mentioned that one who is missed this Parana time, I mean, I don't know how much it is applicable. You should continue fasting until next day. So that because of, in order to put that importance,
right.
So that other thing is also that some people has this kinds of mentality. Okay, today is Ekadashi, fine, good. No grains and beans, fine. I would feast. That's it. I would feast whatever I would eat. They're not so much conscious of it. right? Not so much conscious or not so much of what is called serious on that. So then what happens? That's an offense too, because of, as a devotee you're taking and then you are not serious about, you are missing this time frame, this instructions. That means you're not serious about anything. So in order to make it that serious, as well as do it properly, and these are also there, so that we observe it, and the next day morning till that we parana, we break it. So that, also breaking is not that. I heard that some people, when they are sleeping in the morning, if it is a breaking time, but they just get up from the bed, they just eat the break it and go back to the bed. I heard this from many devotees. It should not be like that. It should be when you break the fast, it should be in a proper way to do that, because you have to be pure when you break the fast. You can't simply, just get up from the bed and you just eat it and break the fast. It's not proper. So also, the fasting always starts from the sunrise. Actually, some people believe that, I'm starting from the 12 a.m. previous night. No, it's not that. The breaking in the hour according to our Vedic calendar, it is starting from sunrise, that the morning. Sunrise to next day Parana time. Usually it comes, that again the sunrise or little overlap between that time.
We never see sun in New Jersey, Prabhuji, so we have to fast until he comes.
Yeah, there is a calendar itself tells us that this is the sunrise time.
Right. Correct.
That even though we don't see the sun, but there is a time which is mentioned that this is a super time for sunrise.
Right.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. The time on the calendar is given as 6:45.
Yeah.
I was thinking even with daylight saving time, it will be 7:45. But I believe this morning it was mentioned it's 8:45, right?
No. 6:45 only.
Prana time.
Yeah, 6:45 and 10:56 a.m. I think, Mataji, this is daylight saving is considered actually this time.
So it is 6:45.
Yeah, 6:45.
And I remember in the morning, Madhupati Prabhu saying that, it's so late. It's 8:45. It's so late. So
I think what was a slip of a tongue. I think that 6:45. I think it's a calendar is in front of me, or ISKCON CNJ calendar, as well as let me consider just a minute. I have this G call. That is actually the daylight saving time is considered. Otherwise, they would say that it's not considered. Okay, so March 29th. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, right. So Ekadashi. So this is as per the New York. Okay, Vaishnava calendar. New York. Okay, so if it is 29th March, it is going to be, Trayodashi. Oh, okay. Ekadashi, 28th March, Monday, sunrise 5:46. Dwadashi is up to 4:11. Tomorrow morning 4:11 a.m. and then Trayodashi, 29th March, 2:51. So yes, you are right, Mataji. So breakfast is 5:44 to 9:55. That daylight saving time is okay, good, you are right. So daylight saving time is not considered here 5:44. That means we in our calendar daylight saving time is considered, so it is 6:45.
Okay. Because I thought in the morning Madhupati Prabhu said it's at 8:45, it's so late.
No, I think that
so maybe I got a bit confused because of that.
Yeah. No. Actually, it's 6:40.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
No problem. Okay. Anything else? Yeah, then I would suggest always we follow that our calendar, temple calendar, Mataji. I think when we put everything together, we took care of all these things, You have our calendar, right? Temple calendar.
Yes, Prabhu, we have that calendar.
Yeah, just follow that. I think that daylight saving time is considered into that. Okay.
While talking on calendars, the old calendars that you have, like 2021.
No, we should have 2022.
We have Prabhu, new ones.
We have new ones. We have lots of calendar at the temple too. If you want, I can give you.
Yes, I have the new one also 2022. My question is, when you have these old calendars like 2021, all our calendars have pictures of the deities.
Yeah.
So like this, it starts collecting and it becomes really big. What do you do with them?
It's a big question. Everybody asks this question, bro. Yeah, everybody. I think some devotees, frame it and then give it to us as a gift. Whenever that's what we do, it's a beautiful picture there. See that if you can all frame it, and then whenever the sponsors, temple sponsors, new sponsors, we give it to them as a gift. Instead of putting in the trash or somewhere, it's always good. People appreciate that. So even if you give the gift to someone, not really in the temple, whoever actually, people out there, give to them as a gift, like if frame it. Maybe we get a dollar shop, the frames, just right. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Okay. So then let's conclude then today's session. Wonderful. Thank you so much, and continue the Ekadashi. And let's then conclude today's session. Thank you, Govardhan Bhakta Prabhu, for such a wonderful class. Very nice that we all, on this day of Ekadashi, we all could meditate on the Supreme Lord. It's very nice. Okay, so let's pray. Shakalpatirupasya krupasindhya patidanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Vaishnavranda ki jai. Kandara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Nanda Kodi Vaishnavranda ki jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.